Hello and welcome to the next edition of the TMS podcast. It is a two-man power trip once again. My old school wrestler fans will get that reference. Shout out to Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H. But I'm with my brother Aaron Cass, and we're here talking NFL. So Aaron, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing real good. We Giants traded for Darren Waller for pretty much the Kadarius Toney pick that the Chiefs gave us. So really, it was Kadarius Toney for Darren Waller. I mean, I don't know what Joe Shane's doing, but what he's doing, I believe in.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the finesses of the day for sure. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So as we record this on March 14th on a Tuesday, so it is now day 2 officially of the NFL free agency period. A lot of things have happened really in the last week, but a lot of mini signings within the last day or so. So, just to get into it. So, day 1 being yesterday on Monday, I felt like teams like Chicago, Miami, and New York, your New York Giants, were winners even before the Waller trade. So, let's start with Chicago first, man. So obviously, getting Tremaine Edmonds and trading the number 1 pick to Carolina to get the number 9 pick and DJ Moore, I believe. I don't know if there's anything else that they got in that deal, but getting DJ Moore was enough. So just speak to what Ryan Pohl did, over the last week, and how do you think that helps Justin Fields going forward?
Well, first off, I didn't even want Tremaine Edmonds, all right? I didn't want him. But
it's okay.
It was definitely a finesse, though, I think, for Carolina. And I keep seeing Carolina wants Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like you could have traded all that much to get him at number 1, because I'm pretty sure the Colts, maybe the Raiders, they weren't going to go after Anthony Richardson, so it was just kind of weird. But it definitely helps out Justin Fields getting DJ Moore along with Mooney and Claypool. Obviously, Tremaine Evans on defense is really good for them, and I still think they have good enough cap space. I know they had 100, even with Tremaine Evans, I think they still have like 50 mil left. So
like 18 a year. So
that's really good. And I'm just concerned with the Niners and the Bengals, because for the Niners, you signed Javon Hargrave. But at what cost? Because you're going to have to pay the bigger guys coming up, like Nick Bosa's and all that. So you upgrade your D-line for what? That didn't make any sense. And then the one person you needed to keep on the team, Mike McGlinchey, the right tackle from Notre Dame, you let him walk. And where did he sign? I think he went to like the Broncos or something. Like he went to some team like that. And I'm like, what?
Denver beefed up the offensive line for sure. I think they got.
Oh yeah, and the Bungles didn't even do that. They needed a tackle.
I guess because they felt like they addressed it last year.
Your La'el Collins is hurt. Jonah Williams is hurt at that. So yeah, they really didn't need to upgrade. Plus, we don't know what's going on with Shooty Joe over there. I mean, letting Samaje Perine go to the Broncos for 2 years. Like, what the hell? I don't know. That was just concerning. And even the Vikings, they have no cap space, and pretty much their best asset is Justin Jefferson, because Kirk Cousins is a free agent after next year. Dalvin Cook, they're looking to trade him. Like, it's crazy.
You got Cook, you got KJ Osborne. Obviously, I know Thielen is as good as gone.
He's gone. They cut his ass. For some reason, Thielen's waiting to go to the Jets. He's waiting for Aaron Rodgers, which we should talk about that, because Aaron Rodgers is doing the LeBron effect, if anybody noticed.
Well, not even forget about LeBron. He's following his former teammates' footsteps.
Yes, yeah. I have made fun saying that I've seen this story before, but Aaron Rodgers is LeBroning it because he wants Allen Lazard, Odell, Mercedes Lewis, and Randall Cobb to be on the Jets for him to go there, which is kind of what LeBron does, where he wants his certain kind of guys, which is why he uses the LeBron effect. But I get what you're saying with Brett Favre.
Yeah, but it doesn't even make sense. Meaning from Aaron Rodgers' perspective, it's like, if Lazard and once again Cobb, him had great chemistry early on. in their careers. But I'm like, if Cobb and Lazard, mainly Cobb because Lazard is younger, but if Cobb is not what he once was, what would be the reason to force your hand to get them over there? Like, at least LeBron was getting some guys that can still play to an extent to come over there to teams that he had in the past. Not always, but you get guys with that could play. But I just don't get the Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb connection. I get that they're favorite teammates of his. I mean, hell, why not call back my guy Jordy Nelson at this moment? Call back Donald Driver. Call back
Javon Walker.
Yeah, Javon Walker. Like, call Bubba Franks. Like, go get everybody. Go get Dorsey Levens. Like it's out of control. So I just think that listen, Garrett Wilson. I mean, should be jumping for joy if that's the case, because he'll benefit the most from it. But yeah, I mean, I think that for someone that didn't want to be in Brett Favre's shadow, it's amazing to me that that's where he may end up being. And what do you know? He may end up being a Minnesota Viking the year after, just to end his career. Why not, right? Why not go to Brett Favre route, go 13-4, and then get to the NFC Championship game and say, this is the freaking Super Bowl. This is not Detroit. That's one of my favorite all-time sound bites. That man was so hurt. And I get it, because Minnesota has experienced some very, very wild heartbreak. Shout out to Gary Anderson.
I mean, you want to talk about heartbreak. Jacoby Myers signs with the Raiders for 3 years, 33. And if you guys don't remember, Shay did a rant on this. It was the Me and Shay show. I believe it was when we were talking about the Football Americano episode, yep, where he went off on it, and he pretty much said that he was going to go there.
So Shay, yes, you get the credit. Yes, I remember that soundbite. He clearly proved his loyalty to the Raiders in that game. He said, "Okay, I'm going to come here. I'm going to give you this win to make the record better for this year, and then Josh, I got you. Come, I got you. Come, come March." So it's wild. It's really wild to me. Once again, listen, take that play out of it. Jacoby was very productive here in New England. I had a chance to meet his family down in Miami his rookie year when they smacked Miami 43-0. Wonderful people, kind people. I listen, $33 million was too rich for my blood. I would have done 2 years, $18 million, 15 guaranteed. That's what I would have done. So yeah, listen, that's life-changing money. I don't blame him. Get your money. He should be good next to Renfro and to Devontae Adams. So yeah, that's a life-changing decision. So I'm happy for him. And like I said, I think he'll do well over there in Josh's offense. I'm sure that Jimmy G will like playing with him if he actually is on the field.
It's also breaking news hour ago. Jabril Peppers signs 2-year deal with the New England Patriots.
Okay, so he played very well here last year. I'm like, you had to bring him back, especially losing McCourty, who at the least is a Patriot Hall of Famer at the least. To say otherwise, I'm like, listen, multiple time Pro Bowl, All Pro, 3-time champ. Like he was one of the best at his position for a long time. So, hate to see him go, but hell of a career. But yeah, Peppers was great last year. Usually we don't bring back guys after they have a proven year with us. But I guess the need was desperate. I mean, I'm assuming Jalen Mills is going to play a little bit of safety as well, since he was tweeting about it. He was like, "You guys know I'm a hybrid." I'm like, dude, hybrid or not, he was out here getting torched like the Olympic plane. So let's be real.
You guys know I'm a hybrid, right? Oh my god.
It's just what are we doing? Like, are you for real? But it is what it is. But yeah, I like that signing. I know they signed Carl Hammond or Carl Anderson, whatever his name is. He's an offensive tackle. Probably is going to be a backup, but they signed him to a 2-year deal. So I say go get Orlando Brown. You need a guy at the right tackle position. Move Oweno to guard, so it could be Orlando Brown, Michael Wenu, David Andrews, Cole Strange, and then Trent Brown. That would be the best line they've had in a long time. Maybe since they won the Super Bowl, if they do that. So
I don't think Bill's shelling out that much money for him, though.
Listen, at some point, something has to be done. So these little 1 or 2 years. I mean, I'm glad they brought back Jonathan Jones as well. I mean, and I know you were telling our boy Sam that we shouldn't go high for 10 ounce. That we'll get into that later on when we talk about Mark Drives. But if you're letting go weapons and you're letting go talent at this rate, something has to, or you're losing, not even letting go, you're losing talent at this rate. Something has to give. And at the end of the day, Robert Kraft, once again, they said Robert Kraft was mad about the Patriots being 24th in like team likeness, something like that. Some survey came out from the NFLPA. So if you're mad and the only thing you want to fucking offer is, hey, go to Concourse C and get Red Robin, which is great. Red Robin is awesome. It's awesome. It's great. I don't care about Red Robin. I care about the product on the field. I don't care about Sephora. I don't care about Olive Garden. I don't care about the showcase cinemas. I care about none of that because Patriot Place is nice. If you ever been there, like, it's phenomenal. I don't care about nothing on the outside. What are we doing from end zone to end zone? That's what I'm concerned about. So they have a lot of work to do. And like I said, I know we've kind of mixed between what our winners and losers are, but I want to get back to the winning side. Miami getting Jalen Ramsey. If you're a longtime listener of the show, if you've seen tweets and you've seen conversations with me and Aaron, like, I am not a fan of Jalen Ramsey, but listen, he's still a hell of a player. That's an excellent deal for them. So just I know you put the poll up there. I don't know what the poll finish was. Was it more yes than no?
It was about 80 yes, 20% no.
Yeah, so them 80% are drunk. They're not winning the AFC because they got Jalen Ramsey. Will they be better? Absolutely. Him and Xavier Howard right away become the best 1-2, unless, I'm sure Cowboy fans are fucking foaming at the mouth after getting Stephon Gilmore after y'all told me that Ramsey was better than him, but now I'm sure you're gonna suck him off as if he's Deion 2.0. Once again, Gilmore's phenomenal, so I'm not gonna sit here and bash Gilmore. It's not him; it's the fan base.
He's so phenomenal. He's been on 3 teams going on 3 years.
Well, one, if someone gave you $11 million, you're signing. That's one. 2, they handled Gilmore like Kawhi here. They thought he could play. He said he couldn't. And they said, okay, well, he forced their hand. And Bill said, okay, well, I'll trade you to Carolina. Okay, no problem. And, that's just what it was. But Gilmore was phenomenal. He was good as any corner we've had here. Good as Revis, good as Sante. Like, he was up there with anybody that we've had. So I don't think they should have ever let him go. I think that he should have stayed here for the duration of his contract. And then, if he chose to leave, then that's on him. But like I said, he was great while here. You remember the Jacksonville play. You remember the pick on Jared Goff and Super Bowl. He has signature moments here. So I don't get why that relationship went sour. But nevertheless, congrats to him going to Dallas. I think that's going to be a good move for them. It takes the pressure off Diggs to an extent. And he gets to learn from one of the great corners in the game. But then last but not least, unless we have another winner that we want to talk about, your Giants, man. Bringing back Danny Dimes, making sure that Saquon, even though it's just a franchise tag, he comes back on that deal. And then I forget, obviously, and then getting the Waller trade today. So just what are your thoughts on what the Giants have done the first 2 days? And just how did they build up off? How did they build up going 10-7 last year?
So from what I've seen from Joe Shane, he's trying to just kind of feel out what he can do with waste for salary cap, which is fine. We didn't really have that much anyways. Danny Dimes, people keep coming at me with it. I understand he's an average guy, average quarterback. He's better than Gingy, who just signed a 2-year deal with Carolina. He's better than Derek Carr, because he has 1 playoff win compared to Derek 0. He's better than Jimmy G because Jimmy G can never stay healthy. We needed to do that because people were telling me also that we have to sign Saquon but franchise Daniel. No, I'm not paying Daniel 33 on a franchise tag when I can do it for Saquon for 10 mil. That's stupid. Plus, with the franchise tag, we should just cut this 5th-year option. I like that we signed Bobby Okereke from Indianapolis. Need a linebacker. I think we're going to go for that in the draft now that we trade to get Darren Waller to help out the offense for Danny Dimes. So, I mean, so far it's been doing good. I didn't expect much was going to happen. I didn't think we were going to go crazy because I've seen it in the past with Dave Gettleman, who was the worst GM ever in any sport, go batshit crazy signing people and it didn't work out. We've been in cap hell. Fine. So whatever we're doing is fine. And I actually think that the Falcons are kind of winning so far in this free agency. They got Von Bell, they got Jesse Bates, and they actually got a pretty decent quarterback in Taylor Heineke.
So how you felt about the Edmonds signing? I felt about Jesse Bates. So as soon as I saw that McCourty, well, even before McCourty officially announced it, I was just like, all right, like, okay, if you get someone to play against McCourty for one more year and then take over his spot, I'm like, Jesse Bates is the guy. Go get him. Go get him. Bring him over here. Like, coach him up. He get even better than what he was in Cincy. And then, da-da-da. Jesse Bates has signed a 4-year deal for $64 million with the Atlanta Falcons. And I said, what? I said, what the fuck? Once again, top 5 deal of all time at that position. Like, I was like, wow. And once again, he deserves it. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, wow, like Atlanta really, when they did a thing. So, you know, that's that. Then obviously they bring back their pass rusher is escaping me, but I know they brought him back too. Is it Rogers? Not Rogers. Forget the guy's name, but they brought him back on the deal too. So they've done really well. Like I said, Heineke is there. You heard it here first. John Smith will resurge down there in Atlanta. He will. Like,
he played with Arthur Smith in Tennessee.
He's not a bad player. It just was between having to be a blocker, not having a real offensive coordinator for half of his time here. A lot of variables changed the potential dynamic he was going to have in this offense. So I think that he's going to come back and be really good next to Kyle Pitts. Arthur Smith needs to wake the hell up and find out how to use Kyle Pitts in the offense because he's too dynamic not to. He's literally Julio at tight end. Like, what are we doing? So, yeah, I just think that that's what – yeah, the Heineke sign is great. Mike White going to Miami. I think they solidified the back position. I like that.
I actually think Houston did a little bit pretty good on the roster. Getting, Robert Woods is an okay receiver, but he's the best one on that team right now. They got Jimmy Ward from the Niners and Shaq Mason.
Yeah, he's getting. I mean, next thing you know, I wonder who the next former Patriot is going to be. He's going to Nick Caserio is doing the same thing they did. So they're going to bring some more former Patriots back over, and then go from there.
Well, our friend Ernesto who put up today that he's probably not going to be a Raiders fan anymore because they're becoming the Las Vegas Patriots because of Jimmy G and everyone coming over from the McDaniels era.
Please, he's just emotional. Ernesto, what's up, bro? We got to get you on the show to talk about NASCAR, but you listen. You're not gonna stop rooting for the Raiders. You love the Raiders. Ever since we met you in college, you are Raider. You're a Raider till you die. Stop it. But I get it. I understand. I don't get the Jimmy G signing. I don't.
You should have just kept Derek Carr at that point.
Right. 3 years, 67 mils, half of that guaranteed. Like that's wild to me. Which is why I put them in the loser category for day one. I'm just like, I don't understand. Now, if you find a way to keep him upright and he stays healthy, your team's gonna win. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. Anytime he's been healthy, your team either gets to the Super Bowl or to the conference championship. Not an opinion. That's a fact. Check the tape. That's true. So he has another great running back there and Josh Jacobs. He has a top 5 receiver and Devontae Adams. You got a top 5 slot guy, and Renfro. Well, I guess Renfro probably moves to the 2 guy, and then Jacoby's going to be the slot. But Jacoby should really be the 2, and Renfro be the slot. Jacoby's too slow to be a slot, but he's going to catch everything. Like he doesn't drop passes. So he's going to be fine in the offense. But I just think, to me, the most important position for Vegas is going to be the backup quarterback. Because Jimmy will miss time eventually. It's just a matter of when.
And Jarrett Stidham signed with the Broncos for 2 years.
Exactly. For 2 years, $10 million. So
something like that, yeah.
So yeah, that was cool.
I also think that the Eagles lost just because of how much defensive players left, even though they did sign James Bradbury to a 3-year, $44 million, I believe $28 million guaranteed, and that pretty much locked up their cap space because they don't really have any cap. Oh, and they signed Rashad Penny, who's also injury prone. Yeah. So that means Miles Sanders is gone. Yep. I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they lost.
I like Rashad Penny. I mean, it was kind of inevitable that he left Seattle. Kenny Walker he proved to be a guy. I thought he was offensive rookie of the year, in my opinion. But
plus your biggest ability is your availability, and he really hasn't been at all in his whole career as a first rounder.
Exactly. So that is that. But speaking of Seattle. Shout out to Gino. They wrote me off, but I ain't right back. And 3-year deal, 105. I know Jets fans are sick. Kind of like, well, what the fuck? Like, this is what we were looking for 10 years ago, and you couldn't give it to us.
But you can't put the blame on Gino though from the Jets.
No, but fans ain't logical. Aaron, you talking about you can't put but fans ain't logical. They're gonna blame him and say he didn't do what he was supposed to do. So yeah, of course we can't put it on Gino, but
I will always be mad at Gino for starting over Eli Manning that one fucking game.
Well, yeah, I mean that was which is why I'm just like. Be mad at the organization that it took that long.
Oh, absolutely. I was not mad. Gino. It was just like
to get a black quarterback in there. Like that's wild. I mean, I'm sure I know y'all would have felt better with Lamar or somebody else, but I did because then I know you had Anthony Wright. You had some other guys that were there that played there, but Tyrod Taylor obviously, but just didn't do just didn't obviously start there. So. Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, 3 years, 105, man. I was like, that is awesome. I'm happy for him. Obviously when you still have Lockett and DK Metcalf there, that still gives you a hell of a duo. So yeah, we know a fan too. So they have some talent there.
Do you think Lamar stays with the Ravens, and why hasn't there been teams going for Lamar? Is it just because it's the 2 first-round picks, or are they afraid if they sign him that the Ravens will match it? Because it doesn't make any sense that he's an MVP. I get it. He runs more than he throws.
Right.
But he's a better quarterback than Gingy, Derek Carr. He's a little bit better than Danny Dimes in the sense of like the throwing, because Danny Dimes really can't throw far, but they basically have the same wheels.
But I mean, when he's able to step into a throw, he does pretty well. I mean, once again, is he going to be Peyton or Brady? He'll never be that. Like that's just not his. That's not his game. Can he eventually?
He's better off being a Philly Michael Vick.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, granted, this would never happen, but. I would actually like to see what Andy Reid would do with Lamar Jackson. I think that would be. We think Mahomes has done crazy stuff. The designs he would have for Lamar Jackson, my God. Also again, Mahomes can move, but sure, if there's any weakness in his game, it's that. Like he's not someone who's going to run for 150 and then throw for 250. He's going to throw for 400 and run for like 75, but. Which is fine because obviously that's all you need from that position. But yeah, that would be awesome to see. But no, I think to answer your question, I think it's a mix of both. I think that teams are not looking to pay that lofty of a price for someone who they think may have quit on the team last year. And then I do think, obviously, just like players talk, owners talk too. And I'm sure Steve Bisciotti and John Harbaugh have told other teams, like, look, we're probably going to match it, or, we're trying to work things out. Just give us time, X, Y, and Z. And then go from there, because the market is drying up. Like, I think you said, because we talked about the other day on the phone, we had talked about, Sam Darnold going to, oh, that was on Twitter. I was on Twitter. About Sam Darnold going to San Fran. Like, if I was San Fran, I would do whatever I needed to do to get Lamar Jackson there.
Well, they were more concerned signing another D lineman and
so, you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, whatever it would have taken whatever, however you want to word it. Like, I would have been like, yo, 8, we need you here. You can't wear 8 because 8's already retired, but you would be the next guy. And
it's so crazy that they wasted a number 3 pick on Trey Lance if you're not going to use him. That's ridiculous. They really trust Brock Purdy. I mean, I get it because you can use Brock Purdy's cap situation on like other players. But god damn, if you really didn't like Trey Lance, you didn't have to get him at 3 or even trade up. They trade up to get him.
Should have just drafted Mac Jones.
Seriously, at that point.
Mac Jones would have been phenomenal over there. He really would have been. With Sammy and Ayuk and Debo. I mean, it was Debo, but with Debo and Ayuk and Kittle, crazy. Like, it would have been insane. And you give him a running back like McCaffrey, like how we had running backs, and I think he had Najee Harris. What? Oh my god! Like, it would have been it been showtime out there.
Well, he had Najee, Josh Jacobs at Alabama.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's crazy. So, but at the end of the day, I can't wait for the Patriots to announce the signing of Slade Bolden. That's really going to put us over the top as a contender. And, Slade can reunite with Mac Jones. They were roommates in college. And, yeah, number 7 for New England is on the way with the signing of Slade Bolden. So I cannot wait. Can't wait. So, it's sad, man. Like I said, Bill and Robert and Jonathan, like, they continue to do things. They continue to do things that piss off the fan base. Not that they care, because once again, everyone's coming to Patriot Place for a fan-friendly environment and family fun. What a fucking joke.
It's funny. The Patriots are going right back to how they used to be in the 80s and 90s, huh? Well,
I mean, they weren't winning 8 games, so those teams are winning. 3 and 4. So a little bit better.
Is Ron Meyer going to come back?
I don't need him. Now, if Andre Tippett want to come back, right? Andre Tippett and Stanley Morgan and John Hanna, those guys want to come back. that would be fine, but other than that, there's nobody else to speak of. I mean, maybe Ben Coates, my guy Lawyer Malloy. Those guys were in the '90s. Ty Law, Teddy Bruschi. So there's a lot of guys that could come back, but because people figure they went to the Super Bowl in the '90s. They went. We lost to Green Bay, obviously, in the Super Bowl 31, I believe. So yeah. And once again, we're no different than the Packers. I mean, obviously we won more, but we went from Bledsoe to Brady in a 30-year span. Just about. Bledsoe was the number 1 pick in '93. They get to the playoffs with him in the second year, just like we did with Brady. We get to the Super Bowl in his 3rd year. He makes Pro Bowls. He gets a $100 million deal. He was loved up here. People love Drew Bledsoe. But it's just like, that's the thing. It's just like, it's really wild to me. And like I said, we went back to what we were, but I'm like, we had a 25-year plus stretch of Bledsoe to Brady. So people are ruined. Because Drew Bledsoe was very good here. We can say what we want about what he was in Buffalo and Dallas. But here in New England, he was the guy. And
it'll always confuse me that he started the AFC champ game but didn't start the Super Bowl in 2001.
Well, I mean, you remember the press conference. Robert Kraft pays me to do what's been the best interest of the team.
True.
TEAM as a team. They don't get there without Brady, but yeah, but I mean, let's say Bledsoe did his thing in the NFC Championship game. I said like I said, as a fan, that loved him and wanted him to keep playing, forever grateful. That I've never seen a better 150 and 2 touchdowns. So thank you, Drew. We are forever grateful. The dynasty does not start without you, brother. So, and shout out to Mo Lewis as well. I would love to have Mo Lewis come on the show, because I would say, my brother, you forever changed the history of the Patriots with that one hit. So Mo Lewis, thank you, sir. We greatly appreciate you up here in New England.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Austin Eckler wants to trade from LA. Obviously, he's getting tired of Brandon Staley, and I guess he doesn't like Kellen Moore. I think he should go to Cincinnati, because we don't know what's going on with Joe Mixon and that whole situation. The loss of JP Ryan, he can instantly go bloop, pop right in.
You don't think he would fit in? I
No.
I like Cincinnati, so I think that's a good fit. But you don't think he would fit in New England?
No.
Him and Ramondre Stevenson, because Damian Harris is gone. Like, he's not coming back. So you got to replace that. And I love.
I don't think Bill will trade for him. I just don't feel like he would.
If we, I mean, I say if you look at the tape, but I know who I'm speaking to. You watch everything. His game is what Bill looks for in a running back. How he runs, how he catches. That is a Bill Belichick prototype running back.
But I think he wants to win, though. And I think from what the Patriots' lack of free agency is doing, I don't think he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I want to go there." Or,
I mean, if he's trying to do that choice, so I mean,
I guess that's true.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, no, but yes, from a talent standpoint, around, yes, of course, Cincinnati would be the better landing spot. Obviously, Joe Burrow is not a guy. To me, he's the guy. Besides Mahomes right now, and we're going to see them go back and forth the next, decade. So I can't wait to see how that looks. But you brought up Eckler already, but obviously D-Hop, Derrick Henry, T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy and Sutton were obviously teammates. So just who else besides? Well, I mean, do you think any of those guys get moved? Via trade? If so, who would it be?
I would think if I'm smart, I would trade Derrick Henry. I would trade Derrick Henry, and I said it on the last episode where I do my solo show, my solo dolo. I did say Miami. I feel like that would be a good piece for them, because who was their best running back? Jeff Wilson Jr. Didn't realize he was a free agent, but they did sign Raheem Mostert for 2 years, but he's also injury prone. That would be a great spot for Derrick Henry, because they improved their offensive line. And just look at that offense; it's just nasty. So I feel like Tennessee can get a good amount for him. They have to rebuild. Ryan Tannehill is nothing. I don't know. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I feel like, is just a hostage there, because it doesn't feel like it's just his team.
Right.
So I feel like Derrick Henry would go, and T. Higgins is going to have to go, just because his contract's coming up. And Joe Burrow's contract is coming up at the same time. And damn well they're going to give Joe Burrow $50 million and going to have to leave T. Higgins. So if you can get them for T. Higgins, that'd be great. I mean, Tiki Barber is saying that T. Higgins should come to the Giants. I just don't feel like he's worth a first round, or I think they want like a first and a second for T. Higgins. I'm not giving that much for T. Higgins.
He's definitely worth a second.
He's definitely worth a second, but he's not worth a first. I think they're trying to get a first out of a team. And D-Hop, man, I don't know, man. D-Hop's payroll, I believe his contract is a little expensive.
It seems inevitable that he's going to end up in New England.
So he's going to be your Randy Moss. You can give a fourth for him?
Maybe a third, maybe. I'll give a third and a fourth, maybe. Bill loves, and we've seen it on Hard Knocks, he loves DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins respects him. I just don't know if that reunion happens with Bill O'Brien in the building. you know, to me, because there's some apologies that need to happen on Bill O'Brien's side, if that's the case, if you ask me. But that's just what it is. But yeah, I mean, I you got to go get a wide receiver. So whether you're doing it through free agency, whether you do it during the draft, I think Tyquan Thornton is the only guy that New England has signed going into 2024. So yeah, like you definitely need to figure something out. And breaking news here, David Montgomery signed with Detroit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow. That means Jamal Williams isn't coming back.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
Wow.
So that's another guy in the market. Where do you think he goes there, right?
I mean, he could go back to Green Bay because if you watch the pivot with him and Aaron Jones, they're like brothers from the same mother. So he could go back, and I love Jamal Williams just because he loves anime.
Yeah,
and he's just like the way he wears the Hokage. He's like the Hokage and stuff. It's cool. It's dope. But he's a cool dude. I think he'll go back to Green Bay though. But
yeah, so I was like, wow. So it's kind of weird. Cause I'm like, fam, you just broke the record, and then you replace him like that. Like I don't like he broke Barry Sanders' record. Like this is not.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is not. Wasn't like he. You know, I mean, I guess. I mean, I get it. David Montgomery was really good in Chicago. Has some good moments, but I'm like, to me, he's not better than Jamal Williams. But once again, shout out to the agent for getting him 18 mil.
For real.
For real. So I mean, that's what's up. So yeah, that's another guy. Once again, my team, I think the Green Bay Packers, like these are all teams that should be looking to kick any tire or retread the tires on anybody that gets released. See if you can get them from cheaper. And I know, like I said, I know Damian Harris is going to be gone. Do I want that? No, because I think him and Stevenson could have been one of the best tandems in the league. But you know, you got to find a way, you know, to get some more talent in here because Pierre Strong and Kevin Harris are not ready to be in a role full time. So that's just that. But yeah, get a receiver, get a running back potentially, unless you get it through the draft. But yeah, you know, like that meme says, come on, do something. You know, that's where I'm at. But you know, shout out to the teams that got better. You know, I think we talked about it briefly, but I love the Gilmore move to Dallas. I think that's going to be great as well. So yeah,
such a Dallas move, though.
Yeah, especially now at this stage of his career. Like 2 years ago, I'd have been like, yeah, I might have did something, but I mean, we'll see. Once again, when he's motivated, he's top 5 to me. So we'll see. But shout out to those that got the bag. Once again, there's going to be more deals that unfold as the week goes on. So you know, stay tuned. Said that, like I said, we'll be tweeting stuff out as we hear stuff from Ian Rappaport and any other guys that are on the NFL circuit. So that being said, let's get into some early predictions for the draft. So I'll start with mine because I sent you something that I wrote on when I put together off PFF. So for me, obviously we know what the needs are for the Patriots. They need an edge rusher. They definitely need a tight end with trading. We're trading Jonnu Smith. So I got Quentin Johnston coming at 14 out of TCU. PFF gave me an A+ for that pick. Will McDonald, the 4th out of Iowa State. PFF gave me an A+ for that one. Sam Laporta, in round 3, who's a tight end. So this is a very deep tight end draft. So we'll see what happens there. Carl Brooks, another edge rusher. And the reason why I went 2 edge rushers, Judon's getting older. Uche is in the final year of his deal. So that is a position that is better to have an embarrassment of riches at that position so that you can keep having guys to run at the quarterback. So next, having Gerard Clark, who was an interior lineman from Coastal Carolina. Then DeMarco Halam from Alabama. And listen, nothing goes together than Bill Belichick and Alabama draft pick. He gets one essentially every year, whether it's on a lineman, whether it's a safety, whatever. So someone from Alabama is coming. I do have them going running back in the 5th round, getting this guy named Eric Gray from Oklahoma. Obviously, the connections there. Ramondre Stevenson with Oklahoma. That turned out well. So hopefully, if they got him, it will work out there. In the 6th round, got them taking Luke Haggard, who's a tackle from Indiana. Big Ten, I feel like, always produces good offensive linemen. And then in round 6 again, their last pick, then the champ, Chris Winkie 2.0, Stetson Bennett.
Why do you need a third quarterback?
Because we saw our main guy go down and the season was essentially over.
Excuse me, Bailey Zappi did not go down, and it was not over.
Him, then Hoyer, then went down. Then Bailey Zappi was our third string guy.
And he was amazing, sir. He beat the Green Bay Packers in overtime.
He was good, and then he should have beat the Packers in overtime. He should have. They lost, but
I know
they did beat the Lions 29-0 with him, and then they beat the Browns back. And so he did do okay. But I just think to get a shot in the dark in the 6th round, I think once again it worked before, so why not? Then in round 6 again. I have, I went home to my Gators, Trey Dean III, safety out of Florida, to get him. And then last but not least, our Mr. Irrelevant pick would be Charlie Thomas, who's a linebacker out of Georgia Tech. So thoughts on that, sir?
I mean, it's interesting. Again, just the Stetson Bennett's a little odd, but
round 6 though. Round 6. That's not
I know. I mean, he's older than Mac Jones, which makes it even funnier. But I mean, the Quentin Johnson, you think he's going to be there at 14?
I mean it was on the PFF board. He was there. I like Darnell Washington. I know you was against that that early. I mean, me and Sam agree. They got to go tight end. I mean, that's why I went tight end in the 3rd round, but. Darnell Washington is baby Gronk. 6'7", 260. He runs better than Gronk, I'll tell you that. He blocks just as well, which that's a Belichick. Like if you're a Belichick player on offense, you gotta know how to block. So he knows how to do that. So I could see them getting him at 14 if Quentin Johnson wasn't there.
Now, you do realize the last time the Patriots drafted a TCU receiver, right? And his name started with my name, Aaron Dobson.
Yeah, he had one good year, then he fell off. Yeah, that's true.
So you think Quentin Johnson's gonna be better than that, or?
I mean, I would hope so. But then again, that may give them cause for concern. If not, then go get the kid from BC. Zay Flowers, to me, is Antonio Brown 2.0. For those that's listening to this, if you don't know who Zay Flowers is, he's been at BC the last few years. The kid is special. And if he's there at 14, you get him. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh will draft him at 17 if he's there, to put him alongside Pickens, because that would be a duo for years to come that would make defenses very, very nervous. So, Jackson Smith-Njigba from Ohio State is an option, or you go, what's the tackle from there's a Dewan Jones from UGA. So there's a few guys that could go at 14, but this should be an offense-heavy draft. So whether it's tackle, wide receiver, running back, that's where they should be making most of their picks.
Interesting. Yeah, Zay Flowers, I kind of wanted the Giants to get him at one point, but he's just a small receiver, and the last time we had a guy like that was Odell. Granted, Odell was good, but I just feel like 5'11" for us isn't going to work. This time around, I think we need like a kind of like a 6-footer, like a Jordan Addison type. But
so Addison having a slower 40 at the combine didn't scare you off? Because, a 4.5 to me seemed a little bit slow.
I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, granted, it's not like a 4.4, but 4.5, it's not too bad. But then I don't know.
I thought he should be an option too. I don't know if he's the first receiver off the board, But yeah,
No, I don't think he'll be the first.
but if he's there, I mean, why not? Why not?
I kind of like the Jalen Hyatt kid from Tennessee, but I feel like we can get him in the second round.
Okay.
And I actually thought we were going to get Michael Meyer, the tight end from Notre Dame, but since we got Darren Waller, I feel I really don't know what we're going to do now. If I wanted to, though, I would probably go after. Huh?
Why not put Meyer next to Waller?
Because we have Daniel Bellinger from last year, and he balled out pretty good.
Michael Meyer looks like Hunter Henry. And if you get that next to Waller, Danny Dimes will look even better.
I guess. I don't know. I gotta just trust in Joe Shane, but my pick would have been Joey Porter Jr. first round, but I don't know. I feel like he's gonna be gone though by the time 25 comes.
You think Mike Tomlin will draft him?
Probably.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, he seems like he's really Kaylee Ringo too from Georgia. I think would be good at y'all pick too. I don't know if he gets there. I don't get the Will Levis hype either.
No, but I told you this is what they do. They did it. They did this stuff with Zach Wilson. They're gonna do it with Will Levis, the guy who puts mayonnaise in his coffee. He's not that good, and you know what's gonna happen? The Raiders are gonna draft him. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna be a top 5 pick when he shouldn't be. He's gonna be They always do this shit. Zach Wilson's the perfect example because they had Justin Fields as the top 2 quarterbacks in that draft, and then all of a sudden, because that one pro day with Zach Wilson, all of a sudden he jumped right up and went number 2.
Yeah, that's true. Or maybe the Raiders see Anthony Richardson and they get him.
I really feel like Frank Reich's going to draft Anthony Richardson 1, and he really shouldn't need to, but.
So what happens when you have a good pro day, and we've seen him with Carson Wentz, right? Once again, I mean, like we said this multiple times on the show. We were so sold on Carson Wentz. And in 2017, he proved us right.
I'm telling. I said it with Ray Lynn. I said it with Ray Lynn. If he didn't hurt himself in that MVP season, would have been a different story.
Crazy. Yeah, they were 12-1. I mean, my God. But things happen. At least he's still in the league. So,
well, he's cut, so he's just there now.
Yeah, and as I go back to the for them, shout out to Matt Ryan's agent too, man. To be cut and you're still going to get your $12 million.
Jesus,
I was like, wow. I said, shout out to the agent for pulling that off. I said, unbelievable. And I'm like, as you hear money fall in the background, because man, I'm like talking about getting every nickel on the dollar, baby. Like you love to see it. Love to see it. So that's awesome. But yeah, I can't wait for the draft. I can't wait to hear dun, 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 dun. The New England Patriots have traded the 14th pick to New York for the 27th pick and 103.
It's funny. I saw a mock draft where the Patriots select Bijan Robinson at 14.
There's no way. And I like Bijan Robinson, but come on, there's no way. That hasn't happened since Maroney in 07, I think. Well, he was a 14, he was 21, but there's no way, no way. Like I don't even want to entertain that. That's hilarious though. Whoever did that should be fired. That's why. I mean, they guys to talk about it, so I guess it works. But that's wild. Like there's no way that should be a thing. Like,
I mean, he is the best running back in the draft.
Sure, no doubt.
He did say Damian Harris isn't coming back.
Yeah, but I'm like, if there's any position that Bill can draft well offensively, historically, is running back. He always, so whether it's undrafted or he finds a way. So I'm not running back. I'm not worried. But they need one. But I'm not worried if they have been finding one. That's why I had the Eric Gray kid in the 6th round. Like, you could find him there and just see what happens. But get an edge rusher, if not two. And if you don't get Stetson Bennett, maybe get the kid out of Purdue, Aiden O'Connell. Get him. I just think in this day and age, you need to make sure you throw darts at the board and see what works as what works in the preseason. And if that O'Connor kid works, or if that Bennett works, then you go with what works. I don't care about protective feelings. I want to win games.
True that.
That's where I'm at. So, any last things on the draft before we get into final words?
No, I'm good.
All right, so go over final words, sir.
So I've mentioned it in a few episodes. We do have a YouTube channel. That's My Sports. Also, our Instagram is TMS Podcast. Twitter is _TMS Podcast. And our TikTok is one word, all lowercase. That's My Sports. We're trying to go more live, do more stuff like that, interact. And also, I've said before, I believe it was the last episode with my show, the Solo Dolo Show, is that we are going to bring in, quote, regular people onto the show. But again, we have guidelines. This isn't barbershop talk. You need to have good ways and the ways to express yourself on a mic. You can't be like this. You got to actually have the flow in the conversation. And we're going to start doing that in 2023 as well.
Yeah, so I share the sentiment. Like I said, keep listening. Once again, we've had the open invitation. Some of y'all are looking to take it. Some of y'all aren't. That's fine. Either way, we push forward, right? So, thanks for listening. Continue to listen. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple, wherever you generally find your podcast. We have some exciting things coming out this week. So we have this show here that we've done. Another show with Bree Marie, who was someone that's been making waves on social media. So yeah, we are very excited for you to hear these shows as they come out to you. So yeah, continue to show the support. And as always, Black Lives Matter, not when it's convenient, not just when it's convenient for you. So he's Aaron Cass. I'm Hollywood Rashawn Buchanan. And until next time, we'll see you. Peace.